Alright guys, so today we're going to be checking out an air conduction pair of sport earbuds. The pair that we're talking about is the OneOdio OpenRock Pro. Now essentially what this is first off, it's very unique. It's kind of hard to even find something to compare it to, but if I had to, I would directly compare it to the Bose Open Sport earbuds, which were the ones that have the hook and it has air conduction technology, so it's trying to downfire audio into your ear canal. But of course, with it being a pair of Bose, it came in pretty high. It was expensive. I think it was like somewhere between $200 to $250, where the OpenRock Pros come in at $109, although right now on AliExpress, you can pick it up for around $84, and I'll have a link to that in the description. So price-wise, we're already looking at half. But what makes the OpenRock Pro stand out from the Bose is this pair actually has really good bass response. And bass response on an air conduction type of earbud or headphone or anything, whatever you want to call it, usually is non-existent, because to have bass you usually need a good seal, or like the bone conducting headsets, you got to have that vibration. But they're using what they call a tube bass technology, and I'm not really sure what that is, but you're able to hear the impact of bass. It gives you the feeling that there is bass without having to feel that vibration. But we'll talk about that a little bit more when we talk about the sound. Now, some other things that they're using is they're actually using 16.2 millimeter dynamic drivers. And just like open ear design earbuds, you usually have to use a large driver like this because you're competing with your surroundings. Again, there is nothing blocking your ear canal, so everything you're listening to, you're also able to hear your surroundings. But they're also using something, again, that I'm not really sure how to explain. They're calling it far field noise canceling, where you're able to hear your music, but the people around you can't really hear it as well. Now, again, a lot of air conduction headphones and earbuds that I've tested usually leak a lot of sound. People can hear what you're listening to fairly easily. But with this pair, I noticed it really didn't happen until you went over about 50% volume. So that's really impressive, and I think it comes in handy where you can use it at home or in an office environment and be able to kind of just be in your own world but not affect all of the people around you. Now, as far as some of the technology, it is using Bluetooth 5.2, and it also has aptX playback, which I was very happy to see because it's not a type of technology that I've seen in some other air conduction earbuds. Now, if you are going to use these for watching movies and videos and gaming, it also does a really good job of cutting down any kind of lag, because really the only lag that I noticed was using these while gaming. So if you're going to use these while gaming, do keep in mind they're going to have a little bit of a lag, but it's fine for all other types of media. Now, if you're going to use these outdoors, which I really think is going to be the main focus of these, because if you're running, if you're riding a bike, you can listen to what you're listening to, but still be very aware of your surroundings. It comes in with an IPX5 rating, which means you're going to be completely fine against rain and sweat and splashes and things like that. It's just not going to be good to drop these into water. And also, when it comes to what they've included in the box, this is very simple. Obviously, it doesn't use ear tips. The only thing it really comes with, other than some stickers, is a USB-C cable. And you are going to have to use this cable to charge them. There's no Qi wireless charging on the case, but the battery life on these is very impressive. On a single charge, the earbuds give you 19 hours of use. Now, this is using it up to 70% volume, so that's fairly loud on this pair. And the charging case with the earbuds is going to give you about 46 hours total. So the overall battery life on the buds themselves, I was extremely impressed with. But if you do happen to pick them up and they are dead, it still has a fast charge feature where a 5-minute charge will give you an hour's worth of use. Now, speaking of the case on these are large. They're still pocketable, but it definitely takes up a good amount of space. But if you are going to use these for running and bike riding and things like that, maybe you just keep it in a bag. Maybe that's more the intention with it. But it actually has the USB-C charging port, the pairing button, and the indicator light all on the same side. Now, I guess technically it's considered the bottom, but the way that the case sits, it's really located on the side. And the design of the case is pretty unique in itself. You can see that it has some distinct curved lines to it, so it makes it stand out a little bit. But once you open up the case, you can see that the earbuds or ear hooks or headphones, whatever you want to call it, just kind of sit in there nicely. And the magnet definitely holds these in place, so it's not one that's just going to pop out. The ear hooks on here are extremely comfortable. Now, I think this is definitely where they got this right, because the Bose were very stiff. It was really uncomfortable to wear those for a long period of time. But with the OpenRock Pros, having that flexible ear hook basically made it where I could have these on for a long period of time and it didn't irritate my ears or feel like it was just too stiff, which was my problem with the Bose. Now, this pair does use actual physical buttons instead of touch control. Now, I do like this design choice because it makes it where you can adjust these and not have to worry that you're like accidentally touching something you don't mean to and have it do something you don't mean to. But a huge plus here is they do give you the ability to control everything. So you have your play, your pause, your ability to skip your tracks forward, go backwards, you have your volume control, and it's all controlled by a button that's located on the bottom of both of these earbuds. Now, if you are going to use these for taking phone calls, they actually have 4 microphones total. They are using CVC 8.0 technology, which essentially means that the mics are kind of acting like beamforming mics to focus in on your voice, and it's trying to block out a lot of your surroundings. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. So here's the mic test using the OpenRock Pro, and I think overall it does a very good job of picking up my voice. It does, again, have like a slight digital noise to it, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here's the mic test with crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public. So now let's talk about the sound, and I'm going to keep this extremely simple. This is easily the fullest sound that I've heard on any kind of headphones or earbuds that is using the air conduction technology. One complaint that I've always had with air conduction stuff is the fact that there's no low end. It's just essentially like a speaker pointed in the direction of your ear canal so that you can hear things clearly, but you never actually have that impact of bass. And somehow, again, because they're saying they have this tube bass technology, whatever that is, the bass doesn't rely on vibration, but somehow you're still able to hear the impact of the low end. It's kind of trippy at first because I've, again, always had to have a good seal in my ear canals to be able to hear bass, and that's not the case with these. Now, this isn't going to be like subwoofer type bass. You're not going to hear that bass that just kind of hangs around and resonates, but you do actually hear the impact. But it is quick, it's fast, it's still impactful, but because of the technology, again, it has a lot of space. So it doesn't feel like you just have 2 speakers right here in front of you. And kind of the same thing with the mids and the treble. They are very detailed, but it's not bright or harsh. And this could also be, again, because it's not like pushed in right into your ear canal, but you can hear all the subtle things. And vocalists always came out clearly, which was a huge plus because it worked great with metal, it worked great with pop and hip hop. Podcasts sounded fantastic. Movies had fullness to it. Again, it didn't sound like it was just pulling out dialogue. And again, because of the design, there's so much space that it essentially just feels like you're in a room with speakers spread out around you. So obviously the soundstage and the sound imaging on this pair is done very well, but that's by design. It sounds extremely open, and it really does give you the ability to tell where different things are coming from. So my overall opinion is this: if you're looking for something that's not earbuds, that's blocking your ear canal, and if you don't even just want AirPods that's kind of hanging in your ears, this, in my opinion, is one of the best options out there. I mean, for air conduction, the sound quality has extremely impressed me. The battery life is easily going to get you through the day. The case is a little large, but again, it kind of has to house these larger earbuds that have ear hooks, so I kind of understand that. And although it doesn't have Qi wireless charging, I was surprised by the fact that it had the battery life that it did, and it also had fast charging. It had aptX playback. I would have liked to have seen these just be fully waterproof. That way you could just still use them in more situations and not have to worry about damaging them. And the fact that right now you can get them for under $100, I think is a steal, because I already feel like this is a much better product than Bose Sport Open earbuds. So yeah, I highly recommend the OneOdio OpenRock Pros. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.